Spy Family has become one of my favorite series of all time, and not just because of the anime that has recently come out, but also the manga series. I've been actually reading the manga ever since it was announced that Spy Family was going to get an anime adaptation, and as of right now, I've been actually up to date with the chapters that have been recently released. But something that I have noticed in online discussion is that there have been a few criticisms over the Spy Family series. Now, at a time, there was one criticism that a lot of people pointed out, and it was the fact that there wasn't enough spotlight in the character Yor, or some people went as far as to say that Yor was a wasted character in Spy Family. Now, this isn't just anime only saying this, because I have seen some anime only saying that after watching season 1. No, this criticism happened even before the arc I'm about to talk about happened, in which during the earlier chapters of the series, there were manga readers that were saying how Yor was a wasted character, or that the series hasn't given Yor a spotlight yet, even after being a few chapters in. Now, at the time when I was starting to read Spy Family and I was reading the chapters that were available, I noticed that yeah, people did have a point, how it mainly focused on Lloyd and Anya's stories, which were Lloyd dealing with the mission of Operation Strix and Anya trying to have a school life. And while Yor did have that secret identity that was really cool, which was the fact that she was an assassin, there wasn't any huge moment or Yor had a big arc that involved showing how good of an assassin she was. That was until the arc I'm about to talk about happened, in which not only did it show that Yor wasn't a wasted character, but it goes to show us why Yor is a very good character in Spy Family. This is the Great Cruise Adventure arc, or in short, the cruise ship arc. One thing I've noticed is that whenever series do cruise ship arcs, they do a really good job in being not only interesting, but probably one of the best moments of that series. Now, I have seen a few people say how they would have loved to see more of Lloyd and Anya in this arc, and while I do understand that many people like Lloyd and Anya as a character, you have to understand that this arc was necessary to show us how great of a character Yor is. So if I'm being honest, I didn't really mind Lloyd and Anya not having too much spotlight, because this arc shows us why Yor isn't a wasted character. So let's just begin. And of course, like always, there is going to be spoilers, so if you're not up to date with the series and you haven't read this arc, or you're anime only and you're waiting for season 2 of Spy Family to happen, then you have been warned, because I am going to spoil things that happen in the cruise ship arc. So the cruise ship arc mainly focuses on Yor in her most recent mission, in which she is tasked to protect the last remaining member of a crime family, because it's most likely that she has a target on their back and assassins might try to take them down. So they'll be protecting this person in a cruise ship for a couple of days. However, that doesn't mean that there's not going to be conflict, because the first conflict is the fact that Lloyd and Anya are also going to be in the same cruise ship as Yor after winning it in a raffle. So obviously now Yor has to make sure that Lloyd and Anya don't see her doing her actual job. But at the same time, while she is prioritizing this mission, she also has a few conflicts that she's having in her head, which is the fact that she has no idea what she should do for the future. As she expresses in this arc a lot, is the fact that she has no idea what she wants to do in the future. Does she want to stay as an assassin, or should she just stop being an assassin after this mission is complete? Showing us that Yor is actually worried about the future, and she's wondering what decision she should make, because it's very clear that she's never thought about these things in her life. That was until she met Lloyd and Anya. And this is further shown when Yor is having conversations with the person that she's supposed to protect, which is Olga Gretcher, which once again is the last remaining member of a crime family. However, now that she has a son, she says very clearly that she will do whatever it takes in order to have a new life with her and her son, showing us that Olga is also a type of person that's willing to do everything just for the people she cares about. And you could tell that when she says these words next to Yor is actually thinking the very same thing, and she understands where she's coming from, as she too has people she cares about and will do anything to protect them. I think this was really necessary to show us that Yor is a very caring character, and everything she does is for the sake of others. But it's not the only thing that shows us why Yor is a great character, because in this arc, of course, there's going to be other conflicts and other issues happening in the cruise ship. And the biggest one is the fact that there are actual assassins in the cruise ship that are trying to take down Olga Gretcher. Obviously, this is something that was bound to happen, but what I really enjoy about these fights between Yor and the assassins is that it clearly shows us that Yor is a very dangerous person, and no matter how many people are up against Yor, as long as she counts you as an enemy, then she is going to take you down no matter what. There are many moments in this arc where she has clever ways of taking down the enemies in order to not cause any panic in the cruise ship. However, there are opponents that are very difficult and they give Yor a hard time. However, she does manage to take them down. But it was after the fights where Yor starts to question a few things she did during the fight. For example, there was this fight between Yor and some guy with chains that he was swinging around, and Yor noticed that she was basically trying her hardest not to get severely injured. which for her, it was something that she never really had to worry about, as it seems that in the past, she never worried about being that severely injured. But it seems that now all of a sudden she's now worrying about making sure that she doesn't have a huge injury, and she doesn't really know why at first. But then she starts to wonder is that if the reason why she doesn't want to get a serious injury is because she doesn't want Anya and Lloyd to notice that she had a really bad injury, which could result in her pretty much having to leave the family. But she wonders why she cares so deeply about this if this family is supposedly just for her to keep her identity secret. And it was at this moment that made me realize that Yor was still kind of not really sure what she thought of this family. Does she view this family as only something that is essential to make sure her identity doesn't get exposed, or does she actually care about Lloyd and Anya and doesn't want to lose them? That is the thing that Yor is struggling to figure out. Which is it? Does she actually care for the family, or is it just beneficial for her job? But that's not the only moment that makes this arc great. I think what makes the arc great is the climax battle between Yor and the remaining assassins, where it clearly shows us why Yor is the greatest assassin of all time, because no matter how many opponents there were, Yor was able to take them down. Some opponents thought that they were going to take down Yor based on the weapons they had or the abilities they had, but that didn't stop Yor from taking them down. No matter how strong the opponent think they were no match for Yor, as Yor was just something else, and it's somebody they should not be an enemy of, because it's very clear that Yor will take anybody down no matter who they are. But this mission wouldn't be easy, as even though Yor was able to take down most of the assassins, there were a couple that were very hard to deal with. And that would be the case where one of the assassins was actually giving Yor a hard time, and it's a very tense battle as you didn't really know what was going to happen, because these two were very skillful. In fact, Yor was actually struggling to take down this person, because it clearly shows that no matter what, this person was not going to be easy to take down. In fact, there were many moments in which the guy actually did manage to do some damage to Yor, which is something that was completely unexpected, and it was something that really surprised Yor. And just as it seems that it's about to be the end for Yor, and it seems that this person is actually going to take down Yor thinks back at all the things that happened in her life and wonders why she decided to choose being an assassin over anything else. She wonders why she decided to still be an assassin even though she knew the things that were going to happen once she became an assassin. In these moments, she states that it wasn't because of money, it wasn't because she wanted to protect the entire country. It is revealed that the only reason why she wanted to do this assassin job and keep continuing to do it was because she wanted to protect her younger brother, that is Yuri. That's pretty much the entire reason. She wanted Yuri to have a very normal, peaceful life, because she knew all the dangers and all the tragedies that were happening in the world. So she decided to become an assassin to protect the people she cares about. And I think this is one of the biggest highlights of this arc, because it goes to show us that Yor genuinely does care for other people. She's willing to do everything to protect other people, and this moment shows us that even before Anya and Lloyd were introduced to her life, she was still a very caring person and wanted to help other people no matter what. And it was at this moment that Yor realized that even though Yuri has grown up and is able to do things on his own, there were still other people that she did care about, and now that Lloyd and Anya are now part of her life, she wants to protect them and wants to make sure that they are safe, showing us that now Yor is more determined to win this fight, and it doesn't matter how she does it, she's going to make sure that she wins this fight. Now, you could argue that the reason why Yor was able to defeat this assassin was mainly due to the fact that Anya did something actually really smart here and threw Yor's weapon back into the battlefield, which of course it didn't go exactly as she planned, but still it was a huge help for Yor, as because of that action, Yor was able to defeat the assassin that was giving her a hard time. And after that, the mission actually is completed, as Yor is able to successfully keep the person that they were supposed to keep safe, and all the assassins were defeated. But that wouldn't be the end of the arc, as Yor was given free time to spend time with Lloyd and Anya. And what I really enjoyed about the ending of this arc is that you can clearly tell that Yor is very grateful and very happy to be around Lloyd and Anya, as she now cares about these people very deeply. It's just a very wholesome way to end the arc. And even Lloyd himself, when Yor gets tired and rests on his shoulder, like Lloyd notices how, Yor must have been working really hard in her job. Now obviously he doesn't know what her main job is, but he does state that Yor must have worked really hard in order to spend time with them, and he's really happy to see that, and says how she actually does deserve the rest. So yeah, very wholesome ending to this arc, and overall really great arc. I have seen a few things people have said about this arc, mainly the whole Anya and Lloyd Lloyd thing, how they wanted Lloyd and Anya to be more in the spotlight in this arc, but I don't really think that was necessary because once again, like I stated earlier, this arc was necessary to show us how much of an important character Yor is and how good she is as an assassin, and that she's not a wasted character. And then there were some people who were saying that they were getting bored of this arc and how it was just very boring to read, which I disagree because this is probably one of the most interesting arcs of this series and I really did enjoy it from beginning to end. So overall, great arc. This really was necessary for Yor's character because I feel like had we not had this arc, I feel like a lot of people would still believe that Yor was just a simply wasted character and there was just so much potential to use her character, but it was never used. But now that we have this arc, I think people now understand why Yor is a very important character to this series. She's not just there to just be there. We saw the things that Yor was dealing with, whether it was the conflicts in her mission or the conflict that she was having in herself, the character development that she got in this, the climax battle was amazing. Just everything about this arc was really just mainly focusing on Yor and what makes Yor such a great character. And yeah, I'm just excited to see this finally get animated because this is one of the arcs that are going to be in season 2 of Spy Family. For those of you who don't know, that Spy Family is going to have a season 2 in the near future, so very excited to see this arc finally get animated. And with that, that's pretty much the entire video. Hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you next time.